Who's going to be in Star Wars? Is Spider-Man any good? Why is Hollywood afraid of women? All important questions that will be answered right now on the Geek Report. Everybody, welcome to the Geek Report. This is the geekiest show on television, and we're glad that you are watching. We have a really exciting show today. We're going to talk about why Hollywood is afraid of women. We have a writer who has a thesis about this. We're going to talk to her about why she thinks that there are no superheroines in movies. I'm really excited to have this discussion, and it's something that we really need to talk about, so keep it here for that. We're also going to find out if Amazing Spider-Man 2 was any good. Hopefully it was. I don't know, but Andrew Swaneville, our comic and movie reporter, is here to report on it. But why don't we move on to the news? Let's start with the Week in Geek. All right, we have some big, some might say huge movie news to start out this Week in Geek. We'll start with the bantha in the room. Finally, after a year and a half of speculation, Lucasfilm announced the cast for Star Wars Episode 7. Yes. The Holy Trinity of the original trilogy, Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, and Carrie Fisher, are confirmed to be returning, as are Peter Mayhew, Anthony Daniels, and Kenny Baker. Now that's Chewbacca, C-3PO, and R2-D2 for those of you who don't know you're watching a geek show and thought an RSL game was on. Okay. Now they posted this photo right here, check this out, where you can see the original cast with newcomers like Adam Driver, Andy Serkis, and Max von Sydow. No one knows who anyone else is playing yet. And there has been backlash about the lack of new female leads, which surprisingly enough is going to be one of the things we're going to be talking about later in the show. But all in all, this is exciting news for Star Wars fans. Related, tomorrow is the unofficial Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. All right, moving on to another potential box office behemoth. Warner Brothers president of worldwide production, Greg Silverman, announced this week that following the still untitled Superman, Batman, Man of Steel sequel currently in production, Warner's will produce a Justice League movie to hit screens no later than 2018. You're all excited about that? I think that is exciting news. So between now and 2018, we will have 2 DC comic movies and only 10 Marvel movies. Still, it is good news. We'll finally be seeing the JLA hit in time for Avengers 3. They're not behind at all, are they? Just a little bit. Now, our last bit of movie news for today, of course, Amazing Spider-Man 2 opened yesterday, a review of which will be coming later in the show. But fans were surprised to find a teaser for X-Men Days of Future Past as a post-credit scene like the Marvel studio movies have been doing for the last few years. Now, before you get your hopes up that this is a hint of a shared universe, it's not. For the Sony and Fox studio properties, Spider-Man and X-Men, they will not be joining forces on the big screen, since there are probably not enough lawyers in the world to make that happen. Or maybe it's the opposite, and there are too many lawyers. Anyway, now here to comment on why they should get together is a 10-year-old boy. This is our mini geek reporter, Max. It's his first time on the show. Let's give him a round of applause, everybody. Yeah. Now, Max, you think that Spider-Man and the X-Men should go together in the movies, right? Mm-hmm. Tell me why that is.
They could just kind of mess with it and have him in the X-Men and have him in, like, Wolverine get into a fight. And then in the, like, 4th movie, they could, like, kill off Peter and have Miles Morales, and I think that they should do this because they could just do a lot of things, and it would just be cool.
It would be cool. 10-year-olds think it's cool. So what would you say to the Hollywood executives to make this happen?
Everybody would really like it.
All right, there you go, Hollywood. From the mouth of a 10-year-old reporter right here, you should make it happen. Thank you, Max, for being on the show. Love your little Miles Morales toy. Love it. All right, well, we got to get on with the Geek Report. Let's give him a hand, everybody. Brave little kid for coming on the show. Thank you. And remember, Hollywood execs, that is your next generation of geek right there, so give him what he wants. In other news, real estate website Estately ranked the nerdiest states in America, and Utah topped the list at number 1. Damn right you better cheer. Washington, D.C. came in last. Politicians take things so seriously. War and disease. Bah, bring me my TARDIS. Now, while not the most scientific of studies, it did rank per capita interest in geek subjects like LARPing, Doctor Who, comics, stuff like that. See, but we all knew that Utah was the promised land. When Brigham Young stepped out of his carriage in his captain's uniform from Star Trek and said, "This is the right place," we all knew what the future would bring. Now, a bit of sad news. Bob Hoskins passed away this last week from pneumonia at the age of 71. Hoskins had a long and colored Hollywood career and was best known for his role as Eddie Valiant from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, along with roles in Hook, Enemy at the Gates, and of course Super Mario Brothers, which apparently he hated, and didn't we all? Bob Hoskins will be missed. In tech news, it looks like we've come one step closer to being able to replicate our food like on Star Trek. At the recent South by Southwest Interactive Festival, scientists passed around steak chips that were actually cultured in a laboratory and were not actually meat. Using a formula developed at the University of Missouri, Beyond Meat is what it's called. It takes plant protein from soy and peas, applies heat and cooling and pressure techniques to realign it so that its structure actually resembles meat tissue. The company's fake chicken strips are already in 4,000 stores across the country. Now, where this technology will eventually go, no one knows. But the next time someone asks, "Where's the beef?" no one may be able to answer. Now, for a long time, technology has become more and more integrated into our daily lives. Well, wearable tech has started to expand beyond just heart rate monitors or Google Glass. Dutch-based design collective studio Roosgaard has developed a dress that turns transparent when the wearer is aroused. It's made of leather and smart e-foils, whatever that means, but as the wearer gets excited, the dress becomes invisible. This is real. It already exists. Now, it's a really good thing that they're not making clothes for men. Can you imagine? We'd have a bunch of dudes walking around in see-through clothing every time they walked by a yoga class. Come on. Let's think practically here, folks. I am not going to be wearing anything like that. Now, finally, in gaming news, Disney Interactive announced this week that Disney Infinity, the game system that utilizes statues of popular Disney film characters that store personalized game data, will be introducing Infinity 2.0 this fall. 2.0 will include Marvel superheroes and add games that include recognizable locales from across the Marvel universe. But it will also be playable with all the other Disney characters that they already introduced in the first Infinity system. So if you ever wanted to know what would happen if Goofy and Tony Stark partied together, well, you're going to be able to see how crazy that gets. And ladies, beware. And that is the Week in Geek, everybody. We need to jump to some commercials, but when we come back, I'll introduce you to Kendra Pilatus and talk about why Hollywood is afraid of powerful women. Keep it here on the Geek Report. Gookie.
Hasters would be a great place to come in and check it out. We have an open, friendly environment, and we've been around since 1995. When a new customer comes in looking for something, unlike that, I'm able to show them Magic the Gathering, which is a card game, comic books, miniature gaming, dice, statues, anything that's related with sci-fi, fantasy, or board game. And I'll hear back from them later on how fun of a game it was. I think they'll find something in here, one way or another. Haster Games and Comics. We're located on State Street in Midvale. Haster has it.
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not always talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Life insurance might not be high on your priority list, but they sure are. That's why our agents are ready to help you protect their tomorrows and give you peace of mind today. Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
In Bountiful, Utah, contact Kevin Bell to see how he makes insurance simple.
At CU Auto Sales, we realize that you have lots of choices when purchasing a vehicle, and our desire is to ensure you have the best experience with us. We consider customer satisfaction to be our highest priority. Throughout each of our departments, the emphasis is always on putting our customers' needs first. Find exactly the car you're looking for and take advantage of our Greenlight funding and get approved today. CU Auto Sales, 4144 South State Street, cuautosales.com.
Owning a home is one of the biggest investments you can make. Rates are at historic lows, and now could be the right time to think about buying a home to call your own. Shauna Judd, with full-service mortgage lender Axiom Financial, will help you by providing a wide variety of loan products to meet your needs. Come in and meet with Shauna, and she'll get you pre-qualified in 10 minutes. Mortgage specialist Shauna Judd. Call her at 801-604-2227 or email at shauna@axiomfinancial.com.
Welcome back to the Geek Report, everybody. Well, we have a very special guest here. We have Kendra Pilatus, who is a writer for the Deseret News. And recently you wrote a very interesting article about Hollywood's sort of fear of making super heroines as the lead in movies. I think we've all noticed that trend and have been kind of like, wait, what? You know, we kind of questioned it. So what do you think the message is that Hollywood is sending to young people about women when they make these superhero movies?
I think the message Hollywood is sending is they're not worthy to be the main character, that women live in sort of a man's world. And you notice how women are portrayed in these superhero movies where the male is the lead. They're generally portrayed as the love interest, or they fall into a certain category, the good girl love interest, the kind of bad temptress, and they're not nuanced at all, and it's just kind of disappointing that Hollywood doesn't think they're worthy of a headliner.
So why do you think that there's this misconception that a woman can't be the superhero? You know, you can't have a Wonder Woman movie for whatever reason.
Well, part of the problem, as Cate Blanchett remarked at the Oscars, is that there's this misconception that movies with women do not make money. And that's simply not true. You look at Frozen, that was very successful. It was a female-driven movie. You look at both the Hunger Games films, very successful. Gravity, it did very well at the Oscars. But there's still that misconception. And I think another problem, as Mike Madrid said, who is the author of the Supergirls, Hollywood's not willing to try a lot of things that are original. There are a lot of movie revamps, reboots, sequels, and so they have this formula that works, the superhero man, his love interest, and they're a little bit afraid to shake that up.
So how can we get them to kind of change that perception? Because I know a lot of us out here, including myself, have wanted to see a really good Wonder Woman movie. You know, she is kind of the holy grail of superheroines, and everybody knows who she is. So how do we get them to finally go, oh, well, I guess we can make a Wonder Woman movie?
Well, I think one thing that needs to happen is more actors and actresses like Cate Blanchett did need to point out that female movies do make money. But I think probably the most important thing that women can do if they want to be in front of the camera, and we have more women-led movies, is get behind the camera. We need more female writers, directors, producers. We just need more women behind the scenes in the industry. I'm a Wonder Woman fan. I think she's great, and I think she also brings compassion and love to the table, which a lot of male superheroes don't. So that would be great to see a more multi-dimensional superhero character. And I think it's also important for little girls to be able to see these female superheroes because they need to see women that are powerful, that don't rely on men for everything, and that helps them make their dreams come true. It certainly helped me try to make my dreams come true, having those sort of idols.
Well, and that's why we all became geeks, is because these characters have inspired us. So hopefully we can have some superhero movies that have women as the protagonists and inspire the next generation of young women in the same way that you were inspired. Well, Kendra, thank you so much for being on the Geek Report. This is a great subject. And if you guys would like to read more of Kendra's writing, you can check it out on our Facebook page at Geek Report TV. So check it out there. You can read all of it. Well, right now we have to take a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to check out the #1 game school in the country, and it's a lot closer to home than you might think. Keep it here on the Geek Report.
Dr. Volt's Comics is a full-service comic book shop. We've been here for 24 years now. We offer pretty much everything that you could ever want as a geek, starting with a free hold service. But it allows you to have anything pulled aside for you, and then you don't have to worry about missing anything. I love that there's just such a wide range of stories and art and ideas that no matter what mood you're in or what you're looking for, there's always something to find. Come on down to Dr. Volt's. We will treat you like friends and family and help you as best we can.
Owning a home is one of the biggest investments you can make. Rates are at historic lows, and now could be the right time to think about buying a home to call your own. Shauna Judd, with full-service mortgage lender Axiom Financial, will help you by providing a wide variety of loan products to meet your needs. Come in and meet with Shauna, and she'll get you pre-qualified in 10 minutes. Mortgage specialist Shauna Judd. Call her at 801-604-2227 or email at shauna@axiomfinancial.com.
Welcome to the Geek Report. I'm Steven Heumann. This is your spot for all geek news from tech to comic books and everything in between. The news you really want to hear. The Geek Report. Real news for geeks. Saturday afternoons at 3:30 on CW30.
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not always talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Life insurance might not be high on your priority list, but they sure are. That's why our agents are ready to help you protect their tomorrows and give you peace of mind today. Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
In Bountiful, Utah, contact Kevin Bell to see how he makes insurance simple.
Welcome back to the Geek Report, everybody. I'm your host, Steven Heumann. Now we're going to talk about video games for a minute. Now I remember the first time I ever sat down and played a video game. It was the original Nintendo gaming system. I was probably 5 or 6 years old, and I was young enough that I thought that the name Luigi was actually Luigi, and I thought that was hilarious and still kind of do to this day. But video games in the years since, in the 30 years since then, have just gotten better. They've gotten more beautiful. They've gotten more complex. And when you sit down to play that game, that's not really the beginning of the game. It all starts at a school and with a programmer. And one of the top schools in the world, one of the top 2, is the University of Utah, right here in Salt Lake City. And to tell us about that program is our own video game reporter, Kira Booth.
That's right, Steve. Video games don't start here. They start here. You have to go to school for them. And luckily, the University of Utah is one of the best.
EAE is both an undergraduate and a graduate program that in essence teaches video game design. And as an undergraduate program, what we do is we have students who are both from computer science or from film and media arts, and they get what's called an emphasis, so it's a track in video game development, and they take a series of classes from their freshman year to their senior year creating games.
The film side focuses more on the art and the story development, and the computer science focuses on the programming and what it takes to make that art come to life. You couldn't have one without the other. It requires both parts in order to make a video game. The reason that the University of Utah is one of the top game design schools in the nation is because it so heavily integrates both tracks. Everybody in the computer science side has to take some art and film classes, and everybody in the film side has to take some computer science classes, so that you know what your coworkers and peers are going to be going through, so that you don't have unrealistic demands or expectations. And this interdepartmental approach is what makes this program so valuable.
Video games is all about getting artists and engineers working together. And so prior to when we started in 2007, students from our computer science department or our film and media arts could get jobs, but they didn't know anything about working with the other side. And the industry really wants the interdisciplinary working together.
The professors are really excited about making video games. It's their passion, it's what they love. And they actually have gone around to high schools and tried to recruit students who may not realize that EAE is a good fit for them. But for some students that might be caught between, left and right brain, they like math, but they also like art, it can be a really good fit for them because they get to express their creativity while still employing some of their logic skills.
Making video games is a lot more difficult than anyone would ever anticipate, just like kind of the layperson. I'm an artist and a designer, so I don't necessarily do as much work as the programmers, for example. They have to do all sort of math stuff and all this sort of computational stuff, and it's difficult, but I'm sure they have it a lot harder than I do, but it's difficult.
So through the 4-year program, students are constantly making games. You make a smaller game, then a bigger one, and by the end, the students are making their capstone, which is a full year, and they essentially have 6 months to make a full-length game. this game will be published on some platform, be it the 360 indie market or the PlayStation Vita. It's a really grueling process. They have to make a prototype, and then they have to make several iterations of their game until they get to the alpha stage, and then they play test, and then they make a beta, and then they release it, and they continue to play test, and by the end they have to have a published game in order to graduate.
Technically, these games are what we call beta, meaning that they're mostly finished, but they have some work to be done. They can be played, they can be evaluated, but they're not ready to ship. The goal is that in about a month and a half, they'll be ready to put them on the store and people can download them.
Basically, you are a construction worker cleaning up after the Big Bang. So the Galactic Labor Union, GLUE for short, building a better universe.
You would think that making a video game is a dream job, but it's actually a lot of hard work. But by the end, when you see somebody pick up your game and have fun and you know that you've improved their life, for at least the few minutes that they're playing it, it's all worth it.
I grew up playing video games. I grew up watching him play Tomb Raider, and it was just something that he spent many hours doing, and it's like, wow, if my old father can have this much fun doing this, it's something that I want to have fun doing and make other people have fun doing it as well.
So if you want to see your creation come to life on screens across the world, now you know where to go. For the Geek Report, I'm Kira Booth.
Thank you, Kira, for that story on the University of Utah Gaming School. Really appreciate it. For those of you who want more information on that story, extended cuts, things like that, you can go to thegeekreport.tv or check us out on Facebook at Facebook/GeekReportTV. We often post extended stories and fun things like that for your viewing pleasure. So if you want more info, those are your places to check it out. And I got to say, I am an alum of the University of Utah. Any more in the audience? Got a few? All right. Love the school. It's really killer that they are in the top 2 best gaming schools in the world. I love that. Well, we got to take a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to find out what Andrew Swanevelt thought of The Amazing Spider-Man 2. So keep it here on the Geek Report.
Owning a home is one of the biggest investments you can make. Rates are at historic lows, and now could be the right time to think about buying a home to call your own. Shauna Judd, with full-service mortgage lender Axiom Financial, will help you by providing a wide variety of loan products to meet your needs. Come in and meet with Shauna, and she'll get you pre-qualified in 10 minutes. Mortgage specialist Shauna Judd. Call her at 801-604-2227 or email at shauna@axiomfinancial.com.
If you're in search of adventure, all you have to do is follow Ular.
And this month, Ular is pointing you to the Cedar City Grand Prix Snore event at the Three Peak Recreation Area May 30th and 31st. The Southern Nevada Off-Road Enthusiast Desert Race Series is coming to Cedar City and bringing with it all the dirt-flinging, rock-crawling, Baja action you want. Get more information at snoreracing.net and join Ular in Cedar City for this premier event.
Cedar City Brandhead, a playground of mythic proportions.
Hey folks, RJ Bailey for Stedman's Recreation. You know, when it comes to your next purchase on an ATV or road bike, you don't have to have the blues. Come on out to Stedman's where they treat you like family. You'll get the best prices, the best service, and you'll have a friend for life, where they got a full lineup of Polaris, Yamaha, and Honda. When you come out to Stedman's, you're not dealing with just salesmen, you're dealing with family. And when you come out here, they'll make you feel like family.
Stedman's Recreation. People might tell you it's 300 miles out here, but remember, it's really only 30 miles back.
Hasters would be a great place to come in and check it out. We have an open, friendly environment, and we've been around since 1995. When a new customer comes in looking for something unlike that, I'm able to show them Magic the Gathering, which is a card game, comic books, miniature gaming, dice, statues, anything that's related with sci-fi, fantasy, or board game. And I'll hear back from them later on to how fun of a game it was. I think they'll find something in here, one way or another. Haster Games and Comics. We're located on State Street in Midvale. Haster has it.
Welcome back to the Geek Report, everybody. Well, we are coming to the end of the show. Oh, thank you guys are so sweet. Appreciate it. But we're going to have our review, our big movie review. First big movie review we've had on the show, and I am here with our comic book and movie guru, Andrew Swanevelt, and he has a review of Amazing Spider-Man 2. So I'm really interested to hear what you've said. You kept everything kind of a secret from me. So tell us about Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Well, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 picks up right where Part 1 left off. Peter is trying to discover the mystery of his family. Why did his father and mother abandon him and leave him behind? In the midst of that, he's still in a relationship with Gwen Stacy, and he has to deal with his teenage issues with the relationship.
That's a good way to put that, teenage issues with spider powers.
Well, besides that, you've got Harry Osborn coming back, Pete's best friend, who takes control of Oscorp and learns a little bit of bad news from his dad.
Okay.
Throw into the mix Jamie Foxx's Electro, who is there to antagonize and generally piss off Spider-Man as much as possible. And you've got The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Okay, so there's kind of our synopsis. We're all cut up. What did you think of it as a movie dude?
Let me be right up front with this.
Spider-Man is your favorite character.
I hate Spider-Man. I just hate Spider-Man.
Okay, don't hate the player, hate the game.
Don't.
Okay, he doesn't like Spider-Man.
But I like this movie.
Oh. Okay, that's a surprise.
They made a Spider-Man movie that I actually like.
Wow.
I was
I'm
actually
shocked.
very impressed. The things that you were saying earlier about the movie being too complicated, a lot of stuff going on.
Well, that was my fear. We were talking during the commercial break about there being so many different characters that I was afraid that it was going to overwhelm the story.
I had a little bit of that fear going into it, but I was pleasantly surprised. The main draw of the movie is Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone as Peter and Gwen. Their chemistry on screen is electric. Parker and Stacy together as these two actors are just remarkable. They have so much great chemistry together that you almost wish that you could get past parts of the movie so you could get to more Peter and Gwen scenes, just to find out how it goes.
Let's get past this fight so we can see more of them talking.
Exactly. But it also packs an emotional punch, this movie. Needless to say, it actually had me a little misty-eyed at the end.
Oh. All right, well, this is really surprising to me because I've known you for a long time, and I know that you don't like Spider-Man. And so I was afraid that it was going to be one of those, I just hated it. So this is obviously a good movie to go see then because you are not a fan of Spider-Man, you like the movie.
I think that Sony has a potential mega hit on their hands here. This could be the biggest movie of the summer.
Wow, bigger than Captain America?
It could be, yes.
Okay, them's fighting words. Because I loved Captain America. And I know our producer Tyler will fight you.
Different audiences. And I thought of that coming out of the screening the other day. I thought, is this better than Captain America? Is it worse than Captain America? And really, to compare the two is ridiculous. When we did our review of Captain America, we talked about how Marvel's very smart at making their films these subgenres. So Captain America was a political thriller.
Yeah.
So I judge it on that basis, where Captain America is a very good political thriller. Well, Spider-Man is a very good superhero movie. A pure superhero movie. Probably the purest superhero movie we've had since the Avengers.
I'm really excited. So go see Amazing Spider-Man on Andrew's positive review. Well, the show is done. I'm really sorry. You guys go ahead and moan again. Give me one of those sad. There we go. See, we're all sad. Well, we'd like to thank our studio audience. As always, if you guys want to join us for our studio audience, you can find out on Facebook about where to be and when. We love to have an audience. It's a lot of fun. It's a great atmosphere. Well, we got to go. Be here next week for the Geek Report. And remember, everyone is a geek about something.